Few shows can make an actor quite like those in the Big Bang Theory universe, and the cast of young Sheldon have all come a long way since their show debuted. Iain Armitage was 8 when he won the role of Sheldon Cooper in Young Sheldon, but it was far from his first acting gig. Armitage first gained recognition much earlier on his YouTube review series Iain Loves Theater. This role was vital in helping him move forward in the industry, and he soon went on to work as a correspondent for Perez Hilton. After this, Armitage landed a part in Law & Order Special Victims Unit, which he followed up by playing Ziggy Chapman in Big Little Lies. Armitage continued to act in Big Little Lies while playing Sheldon in Young Sheldon. Few people would argue that Armitage wasn't the perfect choice to portray a younger version of Sheldon Cooper, and he showed off a remarkable ability to affect Jim Parsons' mannerisms from The Big Bang Theory. This was especially impressive given his young age, of course, and as the seasons drew on, Armitage proved he was perfectly capable of playing a complex character with little understanding of social norms.
Greetings, Mother. I'm ready to beam down to the party.
When Young Sheldon ended, Armitage set his sights on other interests, though he hasn't quite retired from acting. Funnily enough, he has several things in common with his on-screen counterpart. The fact that he's something of a polyglot, for example. Armitage enjoys learning new languages and has picked up Armenian, Ukrainian, Russian, Arabic, and several others, though he's not fully fluent in all of them. On top of that, he also loves flying airplanes. On his way to acquire his pilot's license, he celebrated his first solo flight via an Instagram post in July 2024. Young Sheldon was Montana Jordan's big break, but it wasn't the young actor's first role. He made his industry debut in 2018 when he joined the cast of The Legacy of a White-Tailed Deer Hunter, playing the character Jaden. Beyond that one film, Jordan's entire career has largely revolved around Young Sheldon, although he did also appear in the Big Bang Theory episode The VCR Illumination, appearing on an old VHS tape alongside Iain Armitage. Jordan played Georgie Jr. on Young Sheldon, rocking a pretty impressive mullet in the process. Georgie's character was based on an older version played by Jerry O'Connell in The Big Bang Theory, and Jordan no doubt did an exceptional job bringing his younger self to life. Georgie goes through many changes throughout the show, maturing from a wayward youth into a more responsible young man who, by the end of the series, has married and had a baby. This character arc set up Jordan's own future as an actor, as he continues to play Georgie in Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage. And while the spin-off of a spin-off is taking up much of his professional time, it's not all he has going on these days. In January 2025, Jordan married social media personality Jenna Weeks. The couple had welcomed their daughter Emma Ray Jordan in May of the previous year, meaning, in a way, Jordan's own life has somewhat mirrored that of his most famous characters. Raegan Revord was just 9 years old when she took on the role of Sheldon's twin sister Missy Cooper in Young Sheldon. Like many of the show's other child actors, though, this wasn't her first time in front of the camera. Revord had first appeared on screen in Modern Family, where she played Megan in 2 episodes. She went on to appear in several other shows, including with Bob and David, Grace and Frankie, and Teachers, before making her way onto the show that made her a star. As Missy Cooper, Revord played a younger version of the character Courtney Hengler first portrayed in The Big Bang Theory. As a child, Missy is more carefree and less academically inclined than Sheldon, but she's also a sweet girl who cares for her family and puts up with her brother's oddities better than most adults.
You're pretty cranky for a Princess Rodeo clown. Missy!
Missy's story arcs weren't quite as deep or complex as some of the other characters in Young Sheldon, but she's since become a guest part in Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage, so there's clearly more of her to come. Other than Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage, Revord doesn't have much on the horizon in way of acting roles, but that doesn't mean she hasn't been busy. An avid reader, Revord will publish her first novel, Rules for Fake Girlfriends, in late 2025. Since the end of Young Sheldon, she's also been hosting her own book club, Read with Raegan. Revord began this project because, as she told People magazine, "I didn't see that space for kids to fall in love with reading." Zoe Perry has had a fairly interesting career as an actor, thanks in large part to her mother, Laurie Metcalf. Her first credited acting role was in Roseanne, playing a younger version of her mom's character, Jackie Harris. After that, she began to make a name for herself despite her very young age, going on to appear in numerous TV series, including Law & Order, Cold Case, The Family, and many more. Perry also popped up in several movies in minor roles, but it was on the small screen that her career flourished. Perry joined the cast of Young Sheldon as Mary Cooper, the title character's mother. And since this was the role that made Perry famous, it's funny that it actually seemed to mirror her first performance. Laurie Metcalf had played Mary Cooper in The Big Bang Theory. Just like in Roseanne, Perry followed in her footsteps, playing a younger version of a character her mother had popularized, and she did a fantastic job too. Perry later earned herself a Critics' Choice Television Award nomination for her work as Mary in Young Sheldon. As you might expect, she kept up her work in the Big Bang Theory universe with appearances in Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage, so Perry won't be finished with Mary Cooper anytime soon. Along with that, she's also followed her mother yet again lately. In early 2025, Perry joined the cast of The Connors. This time though, she didn't play a younger version of Metcalf's character. Instead, she finally scored the opportunity to act opposite her mother, portraying a police officer in 2 episodes. Before appearing in Young Sheldon, Lance Barber had a walk-on role in The Big Bang Theory, playing Jimmy Speckerman, one of Leonard's bullies in high school.
I always thought we were just having some fun. Well, it wasn't fun for me.
You're being too kind, Leonard. You ruined him.
That had been one minor role in a long career, as Barber began acting in television in 2001. He's appeared in numerous popular series over the years, and has landed several film roles too. More than anything else, Barber is probably best known for playing the lecherous hedonist Bill Ponderosa in about a dozen episodes of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Later in Young Sheldon, Barber took on the role of George Cooper Sr., the Cooper family patriarch. George never seems to fully understand Sheldon, but it's clear throughout the series that he cares for him a great deal. The two share a number of touching moments across the course of the show, which is all the more heartbreaking for fans of The Big Bang Theory. That's because longtime fans knew going in that George wasn't long for this world. Indeed, Barber's character was killed off in the penultimate episode of the show, leaving the finale for the family to deal with his loss. But death isn't always the end in the world of TV, and Barber made a welcome return to the franchise in a single episode of Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage. In the episode Typhoid George, George Sr. returns via several dream sequences in a lovely homage to Barber's character. Jim Parsons shot to superstardom thanks to his performance as Sheldon Cooper in The Big Bang Theory, so much so in fact that it's difficult to imagine him playing anybody else. Still, Parsons had actually started acting years earlier. He began in the theater and starred in a few plays off-Broadway before making minor appearances in TV shows such as Ed and Judging Amy, as well as early 2000s films like Garden State. Yet, it was an upcoming Chuck Lorre sitcom that would become Parsons' biggest hit, which seems fitting considering he had grown up on shows like Three's Company and Mork and Mindy. As Sheldon, Parsons quickly established himself as the scene-stealing character in a series that initially featured 5 co-leads. While everyone involved in the show certainly played a significant role in its success, Sheldon became the core of the group almost right away. That's mostly down to the winning personality Parsons crafted when he took the role. He made Sheldon both a fascinating and hilarious character, soon becoming the show's secret weapon.
Bazinga!
Before the end of The Big Bang Theory, Parsons took on the role of executive producer and narrator in Young Sheldon, covering the series in each episode as Sheldon looks back on his youth. Aside from a brief cameo in the finale, Parsons never made a full appearance in the show, but his voice nevertheless provides a constant companion for viewers. When Young Sheldon finally came to an end, Parsons decided to return to the theater, acting in several successful productions on Broadway. Annie Potts' career kicked off in the 1970s, and she proved she had what it took pretty much right out of the gate. Potts was nominated for a Golden Globe Award for her work in Corvette Summer, but she's probably best known for her film acting in the 1980s, which includes movies such as Ghostbusters, Pretty in Pink, Who's Harry Crumb, and many others.
We got one!
Potts' biggest TV role during this time was that of Mary Jo Jackson in Designing Women, for which she was nominated for a Primetime Emmy Award. In Young Sheldon, Potts played Connie Mima Tucker, Mary's mother and Sheldon's grandmother. The character was previously played by June Squibb in The Big Bang Theory, and it's clear that Potts took notes when she took on this younger version of the character. Mima is a crucial part of Sheldon's upbringing. She's one of the many characters who don't fully understand him, but she knows Sheldon's personality is unique and loves him for his quirks like only a grandmother can. After Young Sheldon, Potts joined the guest cast of Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage. She'll also appear in the upcoming Bailey Madison rom-com 40 Dates and 40 Nights, and reprised her iconic role of Janine in Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Potts is also active on Cameo, where she records videos for fans. Speaking about the prospect of retirement, she once told Glamour, "I don't think I'll ever get bored of it. I'll never retire, ever." Emily Osment began acting as a child, appearing in projects like Sarah Plain and Tall, Winter's End, and The Secret Life of Girls during her first year of work. After that, she landed the role of Gertie Giggles in the Spy Kids franchise and gained widespread fame as Lily in Hannah Montana. That role made Osment one to watch in the industry, earning her a Teen Choice Award in 2009. She then went on to enjoy an accomplished acting and music career throughout her teenage years. By the time she joined the cast of Young Sheldon, she had dozens of roles under her belt. Osment was cast to play Amanda Mandy McAllister in Young Sheldon, joining the show in the series' 5th season. She's older than Georgie, who lies about his age when they start dating, yet Georgie pursues her despite their age difference, and they wind up having a baby together and getting married. Of course, this then sets up the premise of Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage, which is where Osment is spending most of her time post-Young Sheldon. Outside of acting, Osment's love life has drawn some public attention, if not for the happiest of reasons. Osment married Jack Anthony in October 2024, but after 5 months of marriage, she filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences as the cause of their split. Despite these unfortunate issues in her personal life, Osment continues to play Mandy in her own successful series.